here we are. Excellent. Oh, wonderful. I'm really looking forward to share this event with you guys. Now that this is working and the platform and all the settings and the internet is in our side, because always it is, now let's use this platform to raise consciousness, to experience our highest potential and a quantum shift in a personal level and also in a global, planetary level. Yes, because when we raise our consciousness, the planet also benefits, you know? All the human beings that are also in this planet are going to feel our new energy that is in a new frequency. And the impact of this energy in their lives is amazing. So let's do it together. Welcome again to this, the 5-day Quantum Shift Challenge. My name is Akahi Ricardo, and I have been traveling around the world, teaching, sharing, healing thousands of people with so much passion, so much love, through so many countries. Maybe I have been in your country. And if you are here, it's because you are into awakening, into reaching a new state of being where you can feel happy, healthy, content, aligned with your true power, and you can awaken all your talents, all your skills, your gifts, for you to become a self-realized person. But to do it in a short time, because that is a quantum shift. To experience a whole transformation process, but in short time, to bend time. So instead of being 20 years, 30 years, or one lifetime or 2 lifetimes of work to heal something, to reach your highest state, we're going to bend time and bridge all the distance, all the gap between you and your highest state. And we're going to shrink that distance for you to experience that in these 5 days with me and with all of us. How that sounds. So please, let me know how was the sound. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how is everything and how excited you are as well. Where are you connecting us from? Are you in Europe? Are you in America? Are you in Asia? Are you in which continent you're from? You know, and just let us know so we can feel this network growing through the planet. Perfect. So it seems that the sound is working well, which is very important. Let me just, oh yes, it is. Awesome. That's just good to verify that everything is going well. Super happy, guys. Super charged with energy. This is a whole new event, a whole new thing. And this is something that I love. When I also give myself the permission to awaken other aspects of me, other wisdoms and knowledge that I have attained and gained through all my lifetime traveling around the world, changing people's life in real time, you know, seeing people's really change their life in 4 days, 3 days, 8 days, 1 month, 2 months, completely change careers, states of health, really just remarkable, miraculous healings taking place. And because of that is that I am now here with you, able to offer, able to share, because that's what you do when you reach a higher level of consciousness. When you experience your own quantum leap and you feel yourself self-realized, you have awakened your skills, your talents, your true power as a human being, and you're in control of your creative process. When you have attained all these levels, then the only result that is going to come is to share, responsibility, to transmit, to benefit others. That is what a master does. That is what an ascended person does. They reach enlightenment or ascension, and then they send, they transfer, they communicate, they teach, they inspire others so they can also attain the same levels of wellness, connection, love, health in all areas of their lives, right? So that is my purpose now. That is my state right now. And you can ask, how is that you became a world famous teacher, Akahi? How you did that, you know? Let me tell you something. All of it started from a quantum shift. Yes, a shift in my perspective. And this shift, in my case, it happened in one day, in just one realization that I just became awakened. And then I did a change of perspective, a quantum shift in my whole approach to life. And let me tell you what was that quantum shift that I did that changed my life. That was to change from a human being that is just taking or working to get something from the world, and change from that to, instead of taking, become a giver. Yes, become a giver of what I have learned and discovered and attained. At that time, it was little, but it still was enough to become a giver. You got it? So from a taker to a giver. That was the change, the shift in a quantum level that I did in my whole being. And since then, all the magic started. So how was this, you know? Let me tell you more of the story so you can understand how that happened, you know, because you can also relate. You can feel the magic of life teaching me and teaching you, because that's what I'm here to do, to inspire you. And I inspire you with my real life experience, because I have lived enough years and in enough countries and in enough situations to gain knowledge from, right? So I'm still an artist. I'm a painter, but at that time when I was 20, 21, I was an artist into music and also painting. But my mentality was to make my music and make my painting and sell that, you know, and that was good, you know, but there was a lot of intensity, a lot of thought about making money with my art, making money with my paintings. And to be honest, I did because I became a very good painter in my city. I began decorating hotels, houses, doing murals, selling pieces of art for different clients and custom artworks, yes? And then I created my own studio. And it was awesome. It was awesome, but very into my skills and exchange for money. You got it? So I was changing my skills for money. And I did that for several years. And it was awesome. But then at a certain moment, I began to feel tired of that, tired of the society demand to maintain me in the same cycle of creating money so I can satisfy the needs of society, right? Because I was born in a huge city in South America, in the capital of Ecuador. That is the country where the equatorial line passed through, and Galapagos Islands. And I was born in Quito, the capital, and you know, such amount of people, buildings, noise, stress, crazy South American life, right? So that is a lot of demand. And that's why I was kind of in this cycle of just changing my skills for money, you know? And it was good, but I didn't want to live in that way, just in this kind of cycle of changing my skills for money. So I decided to travel. I decided to look for something new. I didn't know what was at the beginning, but that was when the quantum shift began to change in me. I wanted to see something else. What else can I do? What else can I experience, you know? And I began to travel in my own country first, in different cities, exposing my art, selling my art. It was for money still, but I was beginning to open my eyes. I was beginning to see that there was different perspectives of people, different places, different ways of expressing my art. And I was experiencing new connections with new people that beginning to open my eyes. and to come out of the bubble, the bubble of society that I was living. And as I did this, I went all around my country, amazing art, amazing experiences. And then I was like, if I can do this here in my country and travel without problem and live these amazing experiences and also pay for all my bills that I'm spending to my travels, I can do this anywhere in the world. I can bring this anywhere, And I did. I went to Peru right there. I sell all my stuff. I give away most of it actually for free. And then I just get my backpack and I went to Peru. And in Peru, I began to paint and just, live my artistic life, selling my paintings and traveling to different locations and cities. And at a certain moment, I felt that I was becoming such a good artist because I was, doing that for like almost 3 years and every day painting and from one job to the next job and talking with so many people. So I was actually very good. And people told me many times, man, you are so good. And also I met with many artists through South America that they were like, Akahi, you are so good. I mean, your art is very good, and some artists that they have gone to a school of art, that they have, become real artists through education. They were impressed with my art. And I did not went to school. I did it for myself. I was self-taught, right? So I was doing that. And then one time I went to the jungle, in Bolivia, right? And I was in Bolivia and I began to, I found myself in a very small town in the jungle called Rewire, that is in Bolivia, right? And there was no place for me to sell my art or to, there was no place for me to change my skill for money. There was no place to do that. So when I was there, I was like, okay, there is no, that doesn't work here. Has to be another way here, And that's when I was just in nature, just in the nature, observing nature, because I was actually camping in front of a beautiful river. And by seeing nature, I was like, what I have that how I can live now, because there is no money here. There is no way to change the skills for money, how I can continue with my travel. And that's when I used to breathe, because always in the breath, because I used to train Tai Chi and Taekwondo when I was a kid. So always the energy was on me. So I began to just breathe and see nature. And I was like, oh my God, nature is actually giving me everything. It's in front of me and it's so abundant. And I don't have money, but I have nature and I have myself, and inside of me, I have a treasure. Well, like I have a treasure inside of me. But today I cannot take, so instead of taking, I am going to begin to give. I am going to just to give now. There is no interchange between skills for money. Now it's just giving, and that was the quantum shift. And since that moment, I was like, okay, so how I can give this for free, what I can give for free that can give me something like a place to live and some food to eat, because that was before I became breatharian, okay? That was in the process. And so I had always a portfolio with a lot of my paintings and pictures that I took from my artwork and my murals and all the things that I did. So I went to the school of this small town and I was like, hey, hello, I'm an artist from Ecuador. I'm traveling, all these countries, and I want to teach art to the kids. I want to give a workshop for free of body painting or spray painting or aerial silk or acrobatics or whatever you feel that you need, because I train all those arts in Argentina. So I'm actually a multifaceted artist. And they were like checking my pictures and they were like, yeah, of course we want to learn something from you. This looks awesome, So I did it. I began to give my workshops to the school, and they were like, okay, so do you want money? Do you want something in exchange? I was like, no, just a place where I can live, and maybe some food that I can have while I figure out my travel, but I want to continue teaching here. And that is when everything changed. Oh my God, because since that moment, I saw the abundance, the infinite wealth, spiritual wealth and physical wealth coming in an effortless way. Because since that day, the director of the school, she told me, you know what, I'm going to do a phone call to the major. And I'm going to tell this major, a small town, you know, but they have a major. And the major came and he's like, oh man, I love your art and you want to teach to the kids. They have never seen something like this here in this small town. So you want a place to live? Let me take you a place to live. He took me to this amazing kind of mansion in the jungle with pool, beautiful location, you know, with everything that I need and more than what I need. Yes. Gardens, everything beyond. I can explain, so amazing. And then also monkeys and cows and horses, all for me. And that was like, wow, the quantum shift took place in that moment. From taking to giving, from working hard to live in this way, to do nothing else than just sharing and allow the abundance to come into my life. Right? And since then, I became aware that that was my path, that's what I want to do. I want to just give. I want to let life surprise me with what it can surprise me when I just do what I like to do, that is to give. Yeah. And maintain that quantum shift state. You got it? And I have many other quantum shifts, relationships with love, with work. And I'm going to tell you all of this as we continue in this 5-day challenge for you to experience also your own quantum shift and awaken to your true potential. So how you feel about this? What my story, do you resonate with it? And now let's clarify a bit more deeper. What is a quantum shift? Yes. There are many ways how you can experience a quantum shift. Yeah. But overall, a quantum shift is a new perspective that is higher, greater for your highest good. Yeah? A perspective that just take you to the next level. And you become that you wanted, but in a short time. Yes. We bend time for you to experience your absolute connection, purpose, well-being now. Yes. So for example, I want to ask you, what is the quantum shift that you will like to experience? What is the quantum shift that you have been working for many years to try to finally overcome or to heal or to eradicate from your energy field? Maybe you have found yourself in certain behavior or a state of mind that is in the lower vibes, like feeling low, feeling kind of depressed or not confident with yourself or hopeless about the future. Those are lower thoughts, you know, like in the lower dimensions of energy. If you have found out yourself, tell me what kind of quantum shift you would like to experience now, you know, from these energies to which energy you would like to shift through these 5 days. Take your time to respond. We are here, you know, learning from each other and connecting with each other. And the more you share what is the quantum shift that you want to experience, you are making it more real. You are actually bringing it in because you are verbally saying it. So as you write, let me tell you some more of the quantum shifts that we're going to experience through these 5 days together, okay? So I have some notes here just to go into point. And quantum leap is a rapid evolution. You got it? Evolution of your mind, your emotions, your body, your soul in short time. And to be honest, this is what I do because I have been creating 4-day programs, 3-day programs, the 8-day process that are just 8 days or 3 days And in this short amount of time, many years of work can be done. So this is a bridge for healing, right? And I want to tell you some of the quantum shifts that I have seen in my friends and in my clients around the world, for you to also understand what is the potential that you have and how you can also realize your quantum shift, yes? For example, one day I was, many years ago when I was just studying this work, there was this beautiful woman, young, very young, that she was very depressed. Oh my God, she was just really depressed, you know, and it has been depressed for several months, that she was actually thinking about having, I mean, she was already having suicidal thoughts. And she was kind of lost, you know, and when you reach the level, I don't know how it is, but she found me. Sometimes life just connects people. It's miraculous. It's energy that connects us. I don't know how, but somehow she found me, and she took a work with me, the 8-day process, yes? We were just breathing and releasing all the stress, and I was just leading her to remember her memories, because I knew that there was something in her childhood that was triggering all what was happening, cascading in her life. And I did a session with her to go back to her timeline, and met her birth and the birth of her mom as well. And in that moment, there was so much emotional release, so much healing, you know. And she told me after the session that she saw all the kind of fear and all the hopelessness that she felt in the womb of her mom, but also that she felt that her mom also had the same kind of hopelessness and sadness when she was in the womb of her own mom, so the grandma. You got it? And in that moment, she was able to understand the root of all this lineage of stress that was bringing this energy of sadness, and not being content with who they were and the body who they were, yes? And she just did the shift. She just found there the clue, the key to realize, to change the perspective from not knowing, from being a victim and not knowing what to do, to knowing exactly what was the cause. And then she was able to compensate and to give love to her mom, give love to herself when they were in the womb. And just by doing that, it was done. When we finished the program, she's like, Akahi, now I cannot believe how I was having those suicidal thoughts. Like, my mind cannot even see myself having those thoughts, because now I feel full of love and light, and I love my mom, I love my family, I love myself. So that's the quantum shift that I'm talking about. You see, that can happen in short time when we just unlock the thing that is there causing the stress in our lives. And that's just one in a psychological way. Physical way, many physical ways. For example, people that have been into chronic fatigue, yes, and they have been using food to create more energy because they feel tired, yes, but the food just creates overweight and does not gives energy in a level that they actually need it, yes. So just by doing this kind of work, they have been able to realize that they are addressing the situation in a different way, that they can do it in a different way, that they can get more energy by being happy, by doing the things that they like, by being in a better attitude, by having a more energy that chooses to feel good instead of choosing the lower energies that are depleting them, yes? So by doing this shift in perception, they have just realized the key for their own well-being. And people that have lose weight, people that now they have families, marriages that they just thought impossible for them to find love, because they were just not seeing love as a possibility for them because of many reasons, And when they change the perspective, even love, work, career, wealth, all can happen, and in ways that are miraculous and so fast. So from Serbia, from USA, from Canada. Oh my God, so good, everyone watching. Perfect. So what is a quantum shift in a relationship? Have you maybe realized that your relationships are going well? Are you happy, or maybe not? Because if you are not having within you that kind of sense that you can be loved, that you are attractive, that you are a person that definitely can experience a future with a person and have a family and love together, if you are not feeling that level, that might be that you need to also experience a shift in your heart, right? A shift within your capacity to love yourself and others. And to be honest, I found this very often, that people is like contracted in love, like love is internalized or introspected more often, yes. And it's because society, society is very stressful, and sometimes we have been heartbroken. Sometimes we have been abused, or and that can really change the way how we love, the way how we see or trust in other people to create a healthy relationship. Yes. And people that is very young, people that is beautiful, that have so much larger future, they found themselves that like feeling that they are not able to love, or that they don't deserve love, or that they in their life true love is not going to be a experience for them, right? And it's because they have society create that we have to break that and do the quantum shift in our heart as well. Yes. And as soon as we begin to do a quantum shift in our heart, and we begin to love us a bit more every day, just a bit more love. Doesn't matter you have been under a lot of stress, or if your life has been into chaos in the last days. That is normal life. But from the ashes you can rise. And the way to rise is by beginning to do slow quantum shifts to create a larger quantum shift. And the best quantum shift is to just give yourself love. Just little amounts of love every day, to begin to see yourself beautiful again, get the confidence in yourself, the self-value, the self-trust in your power. Yes. And as you begin to give love and to give passion to what you do, and to do what you enjoy, your hobbies that also make you happy and make you feel more skillful, that is going to give you that opportunity to do the shift in your heart, to then trust in that you can love a person that is also in the same level of consciousness, in the same level of open-hearted and quantum shift in their heart person that will match with your own evolution. You got it? Because when we are in, for example, and I tell you from my own experience, when we are in the lower energies, then we are going to attract also a relative partner that is in the lower energies, because it's all about frequencies, right? So in order for you to have a better companion, a better relationship, and true love, you have to change your frequency, right? And go into a higher frequency of love, contentment, self-beauty, yeah, and self-power. Because when you feel content, when you feel beautiful, when you feel strong, healthy, you feel powerful, and then you can attract a person that also is powerful. And it's like, okay, you know, this is a powerful woman, this is a powerful man. I have to be powerful enough to be able to match this person. Yes. And you will notice that persons that are in the lower energies are going to see you as somebody more powerful or in a higher energy, that, and they will feel like they are not your match. So they will not even intend to connect with you. Yes, because you are now attracting people that is in a higher level, that is ready for a new quantum shift, higher dimensions of quantum shift. You got it? Amazing, right? So just let me check some comments as we continue. Oh, so wonderful. Quantum shift. Tell me how you feel with this. Do you feel that you are needing a quantum shift? But you want to awake and experience the highest potential of your being in a mental state, physical state, emotional state, and a spiritual state. And bring all these four bodies aligned for our whole being to experience a complete transformation, a complete healing, a quantum shift, right? So talking about emotions, for example, what is a quantum shift in the emotions? You know, what is that? That is so important, guys, to change and to shift our emotions, because the emotions are energy, very strong energy. And what we feel, we radiate. And you have noticed that sometimes when you get to meet a person, or you encounter a person that has like a heavy energy, or is very kind of into anxiety, or like a stressful energy, you feel like, oh my God, that person, you know, had that kind of heavy energy. You know, it's okay, but you felt that, you know, not judging, just you feel it, and that's okay. And sometimes when the energy is very heavy, you can, you know, it takes some time to actually like shake it up when you don't know how to maintain a strong energy field, right? And also when you met somebody that has healthy, happy emotions, that is just in a healthy vibe, healthy mood, you feel that you're like, wow, that guy is like, oh, that girl is, you know, having the nice energy, like it's awesome energy. So you want to get close, you want to see what's going on there, right? And you will always tend to be more inspired to connect with the people or the person that is kind of in a higher energy, right? Because there's no reason why to try to connect with people that you feel that has heavy energy and connect with the people. There's no reason. But exist all this diversity in our life. Yes, and more in the range in between, right? And that's when we have to realize in which range we are. Yes, which of the ranges of emotional scale are you living in? Are you in happiness, hopeful, content, joyful, excited, optimistic, you know, or are you in the lower emotions, like, you know, depressed, or like sad, or like angry, or like you feeling upset or bored, you know? Because if you are in this, that means that the only thing that needs is a quantum shift. Yes, and that's your decision. I did my decision, right? Remember that I told you my story when I went from taking to giving. You can go the same, you know, from hate to love. It's possible. It's possible when you found the key, when you found how to do the transition in a nice way. It is possible. And although for people it can take many years to experience from hate to love, when you found the key, we can bridge that, right? So let me know how is for you your quantum emotional shift. Yes, because this is important. The more happy you are, the more your energy are into an emotional state of well-being and contentment, oh my God, that is when the magic begins to happen. You have so much potential available for you when you feel okay. Yes, just to feel okay is enough to unlock tremendous potential. Yes, so let's work in this. Let's work together in this 5-day challenge, and I'm going to help you to come from any lower emotional state to a higher, more loving, more connected, and awakened, joyful emotional state, and experience a quantum shift in your emotions. Checking here some of your comments. I'm going to put my phone here. So there is also many quantum shifts that can happen, for example, in a spiritual level. And this is one that I definitely experience also and connect, you know, and that is the spiritual quantum shift in which you begin to search within you instead of outside of you. You got it? And this is a shift that I experience and many people have found tremendously valuable. And it's because as we begin our spiritual path, in many cases, the spiritual path begins by reading books, by watching YouTube videos or documentaries or series about metaphysics or new age or spirituality or masters, you know, and we begin to read and to get information that inspire our spiritual evolution, right? But sometimes, as happened to many people, the more and more information, the more and more books people get in their minds, their spiritual path begins to be based in the books or in what is written or what other people say about spirituality. And is not a spiritual path that is for themselves or from within, you know, from their inner yoginess, right? And I tell you this because this is also what I experienced. And I have seen many more people that have done this transition in which we were, you know, reading so many books. I used to read books of all types and like crazy, never ending. And I traveled to so many countries. So I used to read all the cultures of different countries to get the knowledge from the ancient places, right? And I wanted to be like the book said. I wanted to be like Buddha. I wanted to be like Yogananda. I wanted to be like Jesus, you know. I wanted to be like all these masters. And by trying to be like these other masters, I was just lost because I was not myself, right? I was trying to be spiritual by following the footsteps of other yogis. But then is when the quantum shift happened. And I realized that I am my own yogi, that I am already a yogi, and that my yoginess is not like the yoginess from India, but my yoginess was art. My yoginess was creativity, was this other way of meditation that was the way how I achieve what I have achieved. So instead of looking outside to be like other yogis, I focus myself into being my own yogi and connect to my own yoginess, my true spiritual divinity, my true spiritual knowledge, and awaken this knowledge to make it embody, right? And that is when all the spiritual path and all the search, all the seeking for the light ended. Yes, by doing a quantum shift from the outside spirituality to the inner spirituality. Yes, and awakening what you have as a yogi, because you can call yourself at any way. Yogi is just a term for a person that is into spiritual path, yes? But you are a spiritual being at your own way. And the more you connect with your own innate divinity and light, then you become the yogi itself, you become the master itself. And this is going to, save you a lot of time reading many books that are going to somehow take you to the same place. Yes. So it's all about changing our perspective. It's all about experiencing a quantum shift in a conscious way. And all of these shifts, it was also studied, because I was, studied by science, and science is something real. Yes. And because I have been doing all this work through so many years, there was a moment in which I was in Europe, and a doctor, she took one of my courses and she experienced her own quantum shift. She just changed all her energy because she was depleted, overweighted. She was feeling not okay with her whole being. And she experienced her quantum shift. And after 1 year, she contacted me and she's like, Akahi, I know that you are in Amsterdam. Come to my lab so we can do the studies, because my life changed. And I have been talking to my colleagues in my office, and they are also very excited to do the studies to see what is behind your techniques, right? So I went to the lab and we did the studies, with all these instruments in my head and connected to different screens and computers. And there was one person that was also connected with helmet, with sensors and to computers. And I was leading her a session. I was guiding her into a session that was like a very strong situation from her and her childhood. Yes. And I was able to lead her to this session in which she was able to heal the memory and bridge from the past to the present, all these energies. And all the computers were like, making all these lines and all these colors. And it did. At the end of the session, she was like, oh my God, my mind is like so refreshed. Like my mind is empty, and then the doctors were like, what is this? Oh my God. We don't know how it happened, because actually, to be honest, they couldn't explain it. They just call it the hypercoherence, the state of hypercoherence where all the brainwaves are altered. Yes. But at the end, the outcome was to bridge time, to bridge all the past to the present and dissolve all the stress that was in the whole being. Yeah. And that was amazing. That was amazing for me and for everyone there, because it gives us validity that it's possible to experience a quantum shift in a mental state, emotional state, spiritual or physical, in very short time when we do the work, right? So this is the beauty of this, that now science also is interested in this. Yes. And science are making machines, technology, to be able to measure how these amazing techniques and ways of experiencing quantum shifts can benefit people. And I'm super happy that you are here, because this is just a study. It's just the first day of these 5 days in which we are going to be together, me and you, every day at the same hour. Okay, tomorrow here, 12 p.m. Facebook, and all the next 5 days to continue, because in the next days I'm going to be more in detail, deep, very deep, with awakenings, realizations, tools, techniques for how to experience a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual quantum shift, and bring you from any place that you are. Doesn't matter what is your state, regardless, that is a better word, regardless of your situation right now, from this situation that you are, together we can experience the quantum shift and take you to your highest potential. Yes? So stay here with me all these upcoming 4 days. Today we have talked about what is a quantum shift, how it can happen, right? In a mental, emotional, spiritual, physical way. Also the quantum shifts that I have seen in my clients, but just a few, because I have seen so many, oh my God, like healings of cancer, healings of arthritis, healings of lumps being absorbed by the body and disappearing. Yes, all those amazing healings have taken place because of quantum shifts. Yes, when our energies change it, we change our perspective and we become powerful. And when we attain this power, the body responds to this new power. Yes, and when the body responds to the new power, our whole life begins to organize, because the body will influence the reality to organize your life. So the quantum shift is going to be taking place in you, and after it takes place in you, then the quantum shift is going to take place also in your entire life. Yes, yes. And from in many levels, money, love, career, yeah, relationships, yes, wealth, health, you know, well-being, all of that is possible. So here's a few questions. Let me check it out. Alana is asking, hi Akahi, is there a difference between quantum shift and pranic healing? Yes, of course, because pranic healing is a technique, is a modality. Yes. And quantum shift is a new perspective, is a change in consciousness, a change that you consciously take place in creating yourself to reach a new frequency that is a new standard. You got it? A new dimension of energy that is becoming your baseline, your foundational well-being frequency. Yes. And to achieve this new frequency, which we feel all the time okay and happy, joyful, okay, successful, joyful, okay. You know, from okay, we can bounce to happiness and well-being and joy and excitement, all of that. But we can create the foundation of being okay. Yes. And that requires a quantum shift, not just a pranic healing technique. No, it requires a whole change in our consciousness, our perspective. Okay, so that's the difference. So we have a few more minutes. And in these 8 minutes, I want to invite you to stick for me tomorrow, because tomorrow is techniques and all of it, all the tools, all the techniques, all the advice that I have gained through all these years for you to start with your quantum shift tomorrow, right there, and feel the benefits of this in your life tomorrow. Feel more relaxed, feel more connected, feel more in love with yourself, gain self-esteem, gain more energy and vitality, gain mental strength and clarity, so that you can really live and face the challenges of life from a place of resilience, in which stress cannot take over. Yeah, and you're able to manage all the stress. So tomorrow we start in that journey, okay? Step by step together, connected from all over the world. Isn't it amazing, this family? So let me check if there is any other question. Otherwise, I'm just super happy to be again here with you in this 5-day quantum shift challenge. And I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow with me and also my special invited guest, It's gonna be a surprise. And tomorrow at 12, we're gonna be sharing again the second day of the Quantum Shift Challenge. Looking forward to see you. Thank you so much for joining me here in